and they would function a lot better then. The second thing is that we don't have a role model or a successful story from another NGO that succeeded and made something great from their NGO, so that they could be a role model to other people to include themselves in those work and to inspire them to get into that work. And the third thing is that there is no awareness from family. So that would mean support from, for example, your brother or your sister. If you are doing something to join them as well, or their friends, and then it would connect a lot better.
MashaAllah.
Okay, first thing we should do is enter a page that will connect some provider with youth and NGO. That provider is 1, 2, 3 or more firms that will offer a job.
So let them grow, if they can. But without students, they can't grow. Without people, they can't grow. Without society, they can't grow. So organization will extinct without humans, without society. So how to do that? It's simple. So we need just to change their mind. I said I said that humans are weak. So only thing we should do is to try to change their mind. We should show them that gambling is bad. And we should teach them to ethics and values. So if we do that, we'll conquer the bad shops.
Okay. Thank you very much.
We made a conclusion for our topic. It's about making focus groups. These focus groups are going to help us to make some more abilities and to build confidence for young people to take, let's name it like a little risk in entrepreneurship. Today, young people are really underestimated by government, by, for example, older people, not all of them, but mostly. So we asked.
My name is Ibrala and I'm one of the team leaders. Here's also Edina.
First of all, let me introduce our team. My name is Ivala, and I'm one of the team leaders. Also, we have two more team leaders, Edina and Kenan. Our mentors are there, Aida and...
What? Can you use this now?
Enough.
No,
My name is Ivala and our team is NGO. Have you heard me the first time? Okay. NGOs have great influence and power in global efforts. NGOs provide public goods and services that governments of developing countries cannot do by themselves because of the lack of the resource. In territory of Bosnia and Herzegovina, there is around 12,000 of NGOs. Are they enough for Bosnia? Are they enough for Bosnian youth? The number of Bosnian youth is 777,000. Our mission is to study the status of youth NGOs on the region of Unasana Canton and the city Bihać, study the status of youth activities, type of support and partnership programs, ensure the support of extracurricular classes, build international relationships, access activities of youth voluntary program, and plan the most essential types of youth NGOs for Bihać, Unasana Canton or Bosnia and Herzegovina. First of all, we did one questionnaire. It was the questionnaire for NGOs. From this questionnaire, we wanted to find out about general information about the members, about their voluntary work, their involvement of youth in NGOs, and the project they've done. Here's a picture of us making that NGOs. Photo credits for our mentor Aida. The first answer for the first question about the general information was that the women, the percentage of women between years between 18 and 25 is 50%. Between 25 and 33 is 50%. Nobody answered between 33 till 50. For the men, there was a difference. The men, there was 50% of them were between 18 and 25. 25% was between 25 and 33, and 25% were for 33 to 24 years. The 100% of answers were that they are innovative and multicultural. The next question was about their volunteer work. 100% of the first was that their volunteer work is yes, they support voluntary work, but the problem is that there were common answers, so that all of them answered like helping children without parental care, educating children, and so on. The question about involvement of youth in NGOs. 85.7% are trying to attract youth in their NGOs. The ways of attracting youth, common answers through social networks, promotion in schools, training courses and seminars and trips. The survey results, projects they've done. Common projects they've done were about helping preschoolers, fundraising and philanthropy, including youth in decision-making process in community, projects of spreading awareness about the importance of peace, and various projects in fleets of medicine and the dissemination of producing health.
We have done a lot of interviews because we didn't focus just on the questionnaires and surveys. We went personally to different organizations to ask them questions. First of all, we have Unasana College, which is the private school in Bihać. It's the only completely private school. We asked them, do they support volunteer work in their school? The answer was yes. They said that they encourage all of their students to go and work somewhere. They have, over the Ramadan time, they have been collecting supplies and then went to poor families and distributed that. Those are also the kind of projects that their school usually does, but they have made a well with water tank in Africa, where they it has the Bosnian flag and the school logo on it. And as well, we asked teachers, do they support just theoretical or practical work? And all of them said that they like to connect theory to practical work, that's the easier way for them to remember. Then we have Gimnasia in Bihać. It is a public school. So we asked them again the same questions, and they do support volunteer work. The difference is that they have the Council of Students, which usually does the most of the work for the school. The youth collects money or makes some kind of project, or the week of Gimnasia there was, and that was created by them only. Jedinstvo is the most famous football club in Bihać, but right now they're facing tough time because they don't have good conditions, they don't have money to create anything, but they do support youth by giving them rooms, and they give them rooms where they could sleep in for them to be able to go to school in Bihać, and in return they play for the sports club. So here we have pictures of the club in 1955 and here in this year. They have been a lot more successful in the past than they are now, but they are becoming better. After we have made 3 visits to that club, and after the second one we decided to make a focus group. We've already had one where youth gets together and talks about some of the club's topics and how they could make more money by using minimal resources. POM is the youth organization in Bihać that stopped their work a year ago. They have made a great concept where they wouldn't get money from government. They would be totally independent, and youth would work for exchange. Someone would have classes from English, and then someone else would have from math. They would go between each other to those classes. But it didn't work out because they didn't have enough youth that would go. They would go when there was something fun to do, but when there was work to do, no one went. And they didn't have enough money to support it because they had to rent a place where they would stay in. But on Red Cross, they had a lot of better experience. They say that youth always answers to their when they want to have help, because I think it's probably because it's a more famous organization. The Red Cross is all over Europe, and every time there is some action, there's always a lot of people going to it. Nermin Sofovic is a businessman who went to America to study, but then came back in Bosnia and made his own successful business. He said that he doesn't think that in Bosnia there isn't an opportunity to work. He says that he thinks that our youth doesn't want to work, and they have a lot of opportunities, but they are not searching for them.
We also made one more survey. It was with the youth. We wanted to find out the information, but from the other side. So we asked the youth, did they do any voluntary work? So 27% of them said, yes, I do. 9% of them said, no, I don't have enough time. 21% said, no, I don't have any opportunity. Second question was, did you operate with any NGOs? And 20% of them said, no, I didn't. 32% of them said, no, I don't know anything about NGO. And 30% said, 30% of them said, I didn't have any chance, and 18% said, yes, I did. Next question was, are you satisfied with the involvement of youth in the project? 15% of them said, yes, I am. 35 of them said it could be better, and 50% said, no, I'm not. In general, youth is not satisfied with their opportunities and mostly trying to be included in organizations. We think that the problem could be the youth not being informed or them not wanted to be informed.
So what we understood, we know that youth is not connected or networked. Maybe there are different people who don't know each other, who would want to work some project, but they don't know how to. So the lack of interest as well, but that could be fixed by connecting youth through maybe an internet page or a place where they could all connect and share their ideas. So the next...
We have done one part of the story, and now we need your help to remake a project for better future, of Bosnian youth. Join us, join NGO team.
Youth volunteering in NGOs is more than the elderly people. But what we saw in our visits last time, we saw the elderly people are in NGOs.
Okay. Doesn't mean if I'm not youth, I'm elderly. Okay. Okay. You mean that there were more youth than others? That youth are willing to volunteer, although in reality you can see in some NGOs less youth are there. Okay. But in the way they run their projects or how they're visualizing it, do you think that they use the method of observation, for example? Who said yes? Okay.
They have used different type of surveys, interviews, and They have conducted different survey within the society, so it is part of the methodology project.
Okay. So, and where did you find that they use capacity versus demand instead of supply versus demand in their projects? They've used this method and they've answered this in morning. You just had a coffee break. You should be awake. When you are from this team, so okay, I mean, where in the project you have shown, you've applied capacity versus demand instead of supply versus demand. Yes, in your idea. Okay. You can.
Oh. We haven't applied it yet because we were just three of us. For in the last slide we had like what we understood. The problem was that we are not networked. We didn't have a network. Now we have a network and we are going to be able to do it.
Okay. So they are going to solve the problems in a different way, not bringing resources. You are not going to bring money for the club only to solve their problem. It doesn't mean that they need to be club number one only. That's what they want, but you are trying to observe the different thing. You want to bring more volunteers there. You want to being more a united real club, not only a club that will have a fund and will be number one regardless of how others. You think from a different point of view. I mean, how fans can come back to this club. It's not only how a good player can come. Not focusing only on 10 players, thinking about the city of it, the whole city of Bihar. So this is showing some of the examples where we try to link what we are talking about in a theory and how it can be applied in practice. And as we promised how we are going to run the day, it's going to be one team and then one presentation. And I think now our experts, Sisters Leila and Afaf, they are going to talk about their source of inspiration, which good morning, everyone.
You can see from the heading of the presentation, it is prepared by Shara Ibrahim, Leila and Afaf. We put Shara in the first name because she has inspired us to do, although she is not here, but she has inspired us to do such kind of presentation. Here you can see from this photo how the lady, she is just getting her inspiration. The inspiration is not coming only from one thing. It can come from different things. Experience of your life and those of your friends, relatives, even strangers are great sources of inspiration. As I mentioned in the beginning, we mentioned about friendship, and I told you that my friend and Afaf's friend, Shara, is one of our source of inspiration. Stranger also can be part of your inspiration, source of inspiration. Whenever you just sit with next to someone else and you try to remove your shyness from the other party. And give a time or a chance for the one next to you and talk to them. From there you will be able to learn a lot of these people, a lot of stories, a lot of cultural things which you will never have the chance to see it unless you break the ice and start to talk to the people. So inspiration of the source of inspiration is not only, you will not get it like by going to it. It could come to you also. Whenever you are sitting in any place, or you can see anything, or you can have any event, you practice any event, you can get the source of inspiration easily. So here we say it is in every little thing around us. It is in every event. And in any person or emotion, you will see the source of inspiration. It will start whenever that thing or that event or that person it touches your soul or your heart or your brain. Then you will find yourself as you have gotten the source of inspiration. From here, I just want to see. I want maybe Barak to tell me whenever he carries the guitar, how he feels.
You hear me okay? Okay. For me, just like in the book of Eric Fromm, he is a writer. In his book, Zu haben oder zu sein, it means to have or to be. For me, my guitar, which is like $1,000, I work hard to have it. For me, it is just a tool for me. What I know what defines me. To have that guitar doesn't define me. To be what I am, thanks to that guitar, defines me. So it feels great because I'm with my guitar, which will help me what I want to be in the future. It feels great.
Talking about this, his source of inspiration. Can anybody else also can share with us what are the source of their inspiration?
I can tell you my mother. I believe that my mother has been, my father also, but my mother, frankly, has been a source of inspiration, including fasting today, which is, of course, you also were my source of inspiration. But frankly, and this is what we define, and inspiration is not motivation. Inspiration is something that you feel that once you talk to, or you touch, or you feel that you're getting your life journey it goes along with it. So my mother has been a source of inspiration.
Anyone else? You want to share this source of inspiration? Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. 2009, we migrated from Bahrain to Australia. Me and my wife Australian, and I am Bahraini. So when my son, he was 11 years old, he was in love with the theater and acting and singing. So we left Bahrain and we stayed in Australia almost, let us say, the first 3 years. He was in the year 8 and 9. And every time that he wanted to go to school, he was not enthusiastic. He's not really happy to go to school. And his mark always between, let me say, 60, 65 at school. But he's go to the toilet and he stay 1.5 hour to 2 hours singing and rehearsing whatever things inside his laptop. His mom, of course, an open-minded Australian, but what I discovered that she said, what is happening with my son? He is not having excellent certificate. He's not having good mark. And I said, don't worry, he's doing what he's loves, what we can do. We cannot stop him. So 2 years ago, he was asking us to leave the school. And he's in year 9. His mommy said, did you see what you've done to your son? I said, I didn't do anything. He did it to himself. I said, don't worry, leave him. He can create his journey. We don't want to put any pressure on him. 2 years ago, he have a scholarship for Australian, which is in Sydney, the whole Sydney, as the best singer, and he is in every theatre in Sydney, or let us say in the area where we live, he's acting in. So 6 theatre that he's in, he's been rewarded more than 7 times with the trophies and this, and he's one of the best. So what I want to say, he's inspired me. I mean, I use him as an example when I do, give some coaching. Each individual of you have an excellent genius inside it. Look for that genius and release it. Not matter if we're going to just study and graduate from the university and you say, wow, I have the best certification. That's not true. That's not the good. The good thing is of releasing what's inside you and enjoy it and show the whole global, the whole world. Thank you.
Anyone else who wants to share his inspiration source?
Next, we will go through the main streams for sources of inspiration. This is Dr. Buhajji's formula. The sources of inspiration can come from above, from within, from external, and from doing by learning, or from learning by doing. And now we will go through each one of them and the definition. What we mean by from above, it is like a supernatural source of inspiration. It is like gifted. As we took examples yesterday, like Einstein is considered as a gifted philosopher or king. And there are other also, like we can consider them as gifted. Maybe we think about them like gifted, and we saw examples yesterday, Steve Jobs, maybe Bill Gates, Ibn Khaldun, between me and Dr. Buhajji, or as a normal person and as an inspired person.
You are inspired as well.
Yeah, but I didn't reach to that level.
I know you heard me now. Thank you. You know, guys, I love you all. This is real an example here. I'm not going to say something else except reality, and the question is beautiful. Now we can see Dr. Buhajji, he's inspired me. I came from all the way from Australia to Bihar. He's the person who made me to come here. Give him a clap. What Dr. Buhajji did or doing now, all of you can do it, and you can do it better. The difference that he's actually practicing this, doing this live in front of you. He's going through a lot of pain, but he loved that pain and he created a pleasure. And every time he delivers something, he gets pleasure more than us. He's so happy more than us, even though through the pain that he goes through it. What I want to say, it's practice what you think. Don't think and don't practice it. As deliver what you are having in your mind, and that's the key of it. Thank you.
So the difference between us as normal people and between those who we consider them as gifted and they are doing something abnormal in their societies is that they have discovered and they opened their package. They discovered the potential in themselves and they can do something to the society, and they pursue that path. So this is the difference. So we have to believe that we are gifted and we can do something one day.
There are also some people who will imagine some people they will live the whole life and they will die and they don't know that they have the inspiration. So you have to search for it. You have to believe in it first, and when you believe in it, it will come to the out of your soul and heart, and you will be starting to sharing it with the others. So it is with us. Nobody is better than the other. God always fair with everyone, and I think the only thing that we are not doing our homework to find out what the hidden thing that we have, and we have to share it with the others. As Victor has mentioned yesterday, we have to leave a legacy at anything we are doing, so this is part of it. The inspiration and the source of inspiration, if it is found, I'm sure you will be able to leave a legacy, and you will be able facing the God later on, proud that you have done something on this. The other stream of sources of inspiration is from within. It is with us. I mean, one of them is the changing of the mindset. As the Quran said, Allah لا يغير قوما حتى يغيروا بأنفسهم. If we are not able to change ourselves and the mindset, then we will not be able to change the whole world. A decision itself, when we change our mindset, we had made a decision. When we make any decision, it is a source of inspiration. Because you will find yourself, when me and Afab decided to come here and to do a presentation, I think this should be the start for us to do more presentation. Maybe this is the first time for us to stand and talk in European country, and we have the fear and everything, but we make a decision. And from that, and this decision is really a source of inspiration for us. Of course, even if you plan something in your life, if you are trying to change some of the habits, I am defensive, for example, and I'm trying just to block the other party human thoughts and their ideas. I'm not blocking them, I'm blocking myself. I'm trying not to open myself and try to get what is from the other thing. So this is also source of inspiration. Whenever you are trying to change mindset, you will find a big difference in your life. You will find things which you never ever thought that you have it. You will discover yourself and you will find yourself really have changed yourself and started to change with the others. The second thing here, we have creative learning and raise capacity. Can anyone tell me what we mean by creative learning and raise capacity? We just spoke about it before the break. The raising of capacity. It was one of the projects. Because we talk about this demand and supply. You remember? And then?
Maybe about the creative learning, maybe trying to think out of the box.
Yes.
Creative learning, I think it is just trying to think out of the box.
Anyone else? Yes, this creative learning or raise capacity.
Yes.
Yeah. A creative learning and raise capacity. Imagine you only know one language. Do you think you will be able to inspire many people?
No.
It's only the people who understand your language, right? But if you learn a new skill, new language, I think you will be able to communicate and try to inspire the others. So learning like the language or new skills, definitely it will be a source of inspiration. I'm talking about myself. I'm working in a company and I'm preparing reports and I'm using the Excel. I'm having very, very limited skills of the usage of the Excel. And I'm running a department almost and doing a lot of report for the management. But with my limited skill of using the Excel, one report, it could take me like 3 or 4 days to do it because I have a lot of complicated information I have to send it to my management. But when my manager, he taught me how to use the pivot table, and it was really, for me, it was difficult to know the skill because I was coming from very basic skill. It took me maybe 3 days to understand the pivot table. But when I produce any report, instead of doing it in 3 days, I'm doing it even in 1 hour. So whenever you're creating, you try and raise the capacity you have, you will find, you will be inspired and you will be able to inspire the others also.
Third is from external sources, like we can mention as much as we can think of. It may come from family, as 2 examples we saw. The mother is the major source of inspiration for most of us, maybe. The environment. Yeah,
for Tom Edison, I think maybe you know what is his story. He was a disabled person, and one day his mother received a a letter from the school saying that they don't want him in the school because he's not up to the level. He has a disability. So when the mother saw the letter, and he wanted to know exactly what are the result of what is the opinion of the school. So she didn't show him the letter. She just kept the letter, and she told him that the school is saying that you are the best person in the school, and you have a lot of skills, and you are different than the others. So he started in the innovation side. He doesn't know that he was one of the people who could be kicked from the school because of his disability. When his mother died, he was just checking in her room, and he found the letter which was sent by the school. And then he discovered that if his mother was showing him this letter at that time, he would not be able to brighten the whole world with the electricity. So this is the effect of the mother when she inspires and she becomes a source of the inspiration.
Other examples in the environment
is to check this out.
We can, seeing a plant or from seeing a tree, we can get inspired. From seeing the acts of ants and how they are organized, we can be inspired. The community, the culture of the community, if it is like open to other cultures, if it is positive, it is not criticism is not a major culture in the society. This will be a source of inspiration for the people in the country. Like you, Bosnian people, you are open to other cultures, so you are ready to receive any new knowledge or any new skills, and you are opening your door for us to come and collaborate with you. So this is another source is the education. If we are if our mindset is open to learning new skills from, not necessarily, as Ashwaq was telling us, not necessarily from opening a book and reading many books. It can be learning from observing, as we learn from the inspiration. One of the techniques of inspiration economy is observation. Observation itself is a source of education, because I am building on new experiences. I am ending up with a new experiences that I will take in my next or subsequent experiences when I face. I will remember whatever I have done in the past. Maybe I will correct myself in the future. So this is a type of education which is long life education or long life learning. The fourth is learning by doing. Our life is full of pleasures and crises. We face failures and we face success. So from failure situation, if we are positive, if we think in open mind, if we look for potentials or opportunities in the situations we face, then the failures will be a source of inspiration, because I will learn something out of it. The crisis, the wars, whether it is individual or society crisis, holistic thinking. If I am an open-minded, I see the big picture. I visualize the end result, where my direction is, where I want to be in the future, in 5 years, in 10 years. Then this will be a source of inspiration, because it will give me the power to work and act and take actions to reach there. By reflections also, it is a source of inspiration. If I read something and reflect it on my behavior, like there is a survey conducted by LinkedIn recently, what inspires me. One of the success stories explained, or it was one of the sources of inspiration for one professional guy, that he was observing Donald Trump's actions. He sees him like very active and very frank in his actions. It was reflecting on him in a ways he was not going to imitate him. No, he was doing the positive, the opposite. He sees those actions as not acceptable in the culture. So he is a source of inspiration to him to act oppositely. So this is an example of reflections, interactions with people, and open your mind and your dialogue with others is also a source of inspiration.
Okay, I think it's good to do a practice of sources of inspiration in your projects. So what are the sources of inspiration in your projects? We'll take again 5 minutes. Just give us what are the sources of inspiration in your project. Whether it is, as Afaf al-Layla said, it is something that is negative, or sometimes it is mostly positive. Okay? From your observations, from this you're supposed to have source of inspiration to make you really continue to do this project till July, at least. Okay? We believe it's supposed to be forever. You will be dedicated. But in reality, let's go now just for July. What are the sources of inspiration in your projects that you believe that it will be something that will keep you inspired, even though you'll be busy, even though you'll be challenged, even though that you are not getting any payment for this time, which is the most important thing of life, is time. So each team, please, would like from you 5 minutes, quickly, what are the sources of inspiration? And flip chart. Thank you.
Sources is people. The next is religion.
The next is faith.
Games.
Listen to someone's speech.
Fasting. Dr. Buhaji.
Family. Home. Religion.
Red Cross. Hope.
Family. Youth inspiration for
Nino. A minute ago from our presentation.
Really.
mood.
Writing.
Dreams.
MashaAllah. What is it?
Sky.
Sports.
Paralympics.
Masha-
Sky, moon, the sea. Love.
Football. Console.
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yes, excellent.
And I will add that youth group are a source of inspiration for all the groups.
Okay, can we hear the next team?
So our presentation won't be as funny as this one. It will be a bit boring, I'm sorry. So, for interpretation, source of inspirations, please.
Can you bring the microphone?
Okay, sorry. They are listed here, you can read them and we will try to explain about it. The main source of inspiration is...
Guys, can you have your attention? Your team. Come please, can you come?
I'm trying to inspire you here. Please cooperate.
Value team, can we have you here? Quality of life. Come please, come front.
May I have your attention, please? Okay. So our sources of inspiration is mainly immigration. We want to prevent them. And I believe that Dr. Behaji and his team, his main goal is to prevent this. And that's why he came from Bahrain to here. Probably he He has never visited this country, and he came only because of that. And we should appreciate that. Also, most of us, we are young people, and we are not able to start our families because of poor economic situations, and that's not a good thing. That's why we want to migrate to somewhere, to, let's say, Germany or something. And we want also to prevent that. That's our source of inspiration. And the rest of those, my colleagues will try to explain.
What personally inspires me are very negative ways and things like migration. Why would we leave our country? We have so much beautiful things in our country, and many young people are leaving because we don't have anything. We have like nature, and we don't know how to use it. And young people are not able to start their own families because of poor standards. And if they start their own families, they don't have enough money to feed them, to educate them, and so on. And positive things are success stories from people from other countries, like businessmen or so on.
Also, being part of successful stories and like groups that accomplish their own business, and also one of the main sources of inspiration are poor quality of life for youth and for all people in the country because of our financial status and because of lower education, and that's why lots of younger people migrate.
And I would like you to tell us about your husband story now at this point.
Okay, I will say that, but just I want to say about why we put migration at the first place. Because many people died for this country, many people fought for its freedom, we didn't have our choice. And today, people are leaving this country, so did we lose in vain so many people? So that's the question we have to ask ourselves every time we decide to go. Okay. And now about my husband, okay, I didn't expect this, but I will say.
I'm a surprised man, by the way.
He's like a young entrepreneurship, but his story is not so pretty, okay? In so many ways I've learned that it's very difficult to be a young person and start your own business. When he started it, the government started one call giving funding for young people to start their own business. When they started, government suddenly decided they won't give as much money as they said at the beginning, so this was the first obstacle. Okay, so he continued, then there are so many obstacles in a way that when you sell your products, people who have shops, they make so many different demands. You know, they say, okay, I want this percentage of your earning if you want to sell. So it sometimes comes out that you give them more than you earn. Okay, then they have like problems with how can I say, taxes, because the government requires so many taxes to be paid, even though you don't have that much earnings, but they still want that to be paid. Then again, for example, if just a few nights ago he was working because he's making bread, homemade bread, so at night he was working, and suddenly the electricity was out, you know, and that is not the first time, it happened so many times before. He had to throw away what they made, the entire shift, because they couldn't bake the bread. So, you know, that's something that no one knows. They said, like, just try the business, but then when you start, there are so many obstacles. So I think...
example also of not getting from the suppliers the bags.
Yes, okay, so that's the same. Again, you cannot rely on other companies because, for example, he puts his bread into a special bag with special label on. He wanted it to look like modern and nice, you know, and he was ordering it from one company who said, like, okay, we will make it. He ordered it when he was like, he still had those left. So he ordered it before he ran out. But when in a time when they said that they will deliver, they did not deliver. Then he called them the day before, and they said like, oh yes, tomorrow we will deliver it. And then when he called again, oh, we didn't make it, we couldn't make it, and so on. So he had to wait 10 days for that, and he couldn't sell so much of it that he needed. So it's always something, and I really know sometimes he doesn't spend the night sleeping. He just sits and thinks about how can I make tomorrow? What will I do? Okay? Or okay.
One thing, Janina, about your story, which is, when I heard it was also emotional for me, is that he's now going for the council. He's running for the council. He wants to change things. This is a source of inspiration. Inspiration, ladies and gentlemen, does not come unless we are challenged. Because of these challenges, and because he's persistent, he's finding now a new way of, and this might be a new way of rizq, or a new way of changing things around. And most of the people who came, and they are now a legacy, they came from this path. The same path now, as if you are describing Mandela's path, Gandhi's path, but in different way. Okay? So anyway, we give him applause for that. And behind every great man or great woman, there is a person. Okay, so remember this. Very good. Yes. Okay, so now we go for the next team.
I love Bosnia. I love Bihar.
It's her third visit in this year.
Yes, third time during 2016 to Bosnia. Inshallah, it will be continuously all the time we come, inshallah. And you will come to Bahrain. My presentation about inspirational story with the limited resources. So it's time to inspire. I just will start with something to wake you up a little bit. Who can share with me, please? Amina, come. You're from my team. Amina, we have three types of people in this life. Three types of people. You will discover it when Amina discover what the things I have in here. Amina, I will give you something here and you will recognize what is it without seeing it. Just put your hand, yes, and take it. What is it? It's a pen. Show them. Okay, it's a pen. You know how to use it, Amina?
Yes, I do.
Yes, how to use it? Yes, right, inspirational. Inspiration. Yes, the word inspiration. So it's easy for you. Good. Number two. So you know this and you know how to use it. You feel happy because you know it and you know how to use it. Okay. Come in again without seeing. Put your hand and no, this one. Yes. Keys, yes. Yes, yes. Yes. You know how to use the keys?
I know.
But where?
I don't know.
I don't know. Good. Third thing. Yes? You didn't know it? Yes. You know it now? It's a tablet, okay? Medicine, but is it for something you know? Okay, okay, no problem. The last one. It's a key. Show them. Amina, she said it's a key, but it's not a key. It is something else. First of all, we say thank you for Amina. Thank you for Amina. people in life. The first one, who doesn't know, he doesn't discover himself, so he cannot use the ability of himself. Like what? Like what? Which one? Like this one. She said it's a key, but it's not a key. So she didn't know what is it, so she didn't know how to use it. Number two. Type number two, they discover themselves, but they don't know how to use their ability. They are in the middle, okay? As Amina said, I know this is a tablet, but I don't know for what I can use it. I know this is a key, but I don't know how to use it and where to use it. By this key, you can open, for example, a treasure. With this small tablet, you can save a life of people. It is a hard tablet. When you put it under the tongue, it saves the life. So it is a very small thing, but it's very huge. Okay. And number three, who discover themselves, who know their ability, and they can use it easily. Like Amina, she knows it's a pen, and she uses it easily. You want to be in which type? 3. We all want to be in type 3. Know our ability and use it. Because even in Quran, كُلُّ مُيَسَّرًا لِمَا خُلِقَ لَهُ. God created us, each one for a purpose, for something specifically. Inshallah, tomorrow, Mr. Ahmed, he will tell you about these things more, but you should utilize your capacity, your ability. So inspiration make you use what is inside you. Before I finish just this session, you know what is it? It's not a key.
Maybe it is USB?
This is a USB. By this one, you can save half of the box in the Congress library. Half of the box there. So see how it is very small and see how it's very huge capacity, have a huge capacity. Don't you think that you are a very small people, a very small one on the world? No. Even you are small, you have lots of things you have to show the world. Okay, we will start now. Discover, use, and when. Discover yourself, use your ability, and you will be a winner. Winner in dunya and akhirah. Now and later. Because what are we doing now will be accumulated until, inshallah, we did and we died and meet all together in heaven, inshallah. Just I will bring you back to the waves of inspiration. Do you remember that Dr. Muhammad, he says, the wave of inspiration will bring you from challenges, obstacles, and resistance. Each group, I want them to take paper, like this one, and another paper, and another paper, and make it as a ball. Each group.
Only one ball or?
Hey, one ball. It will be like this. Make it so small.
بس شو اللي
ما حد انا يدري ما في اسمه. Okay. Each group has one goal. Okay. Start from the beginning. To this 1, 2, 3, 4. Arabella, you have to come here. Okay. We have 1, 2, 3, and where is the 4th? Group number 4. Okay. I want you to transfer this ball from one to another in a different way. For example, this is my way to transfer it to Afaf. Afaf, give it to Layla in a different way. unique, different way. No, it's the same. No, it's the same way. You have to. Yes, this is a different way. Layla, give it to me in a different way. Yes.
Yeah,
a different way. This is a different way. So the more the different way you have it in your group, you count it. The winner who have the most different way to transfer the ball in 1 minute. 1, 2, 3. Be honest. Be honest. Don't cheat. No, it's the same. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
المصيبة هون.
It's the same.
From the monk after. We had it.
Quality of life, how many ways we have? How many ways?
What fitness? 15.
1 5.
Not 50.
Okay.
That's too much.
Immigration. Immigration.
Migration.
15. They have to show. They have to show?
Yeah. Let's count together.
15? 1 5. So still immigration is the winner. Is it a successful story? Yes. Is it unlimited resources?
Yes.
Yes. What do you think? Is it limited resources or unlimited resources?
Limited.
Is it limited or unlimited resources? Sorry. So you spread your inspiration with unlimited resources because thinking and mind is unlimited resources. Subhanak ya Rabbi, because it is from God. The sources on earth is limited, but heart, feelings, thinking is unlimited. So if I give you more than 1 hour, you will have more a creative way to transfer this ball. Subhanallah, it's like a wheel. It's like a spiral, like Dr. Muhammad said. Just you start with it and it will come. Inspiration is like this. It's like, it's like sparkle. Sparkle. It starts with the sparkle and it starts for a long. So, in this journey, I will bring you or I'll take you around the world to see a successful story with limited resources. because I think one of the team, they said one of our inspirational sources is to read about successful people, how people became successful in the world. I just want you to take 30 seconds reading these keywords: innovation, resistance, challenges, failure, successful, entrepreneurship, society contribution, lifelong learning, resilience, economy, and sociology. You will find in this story, I will tell you about lots of these keywords. You will find in each story a lot of inspirational words. You have to discover it yourself. So we will go around the world. First of all, I want you as a youth, or even us, to use double R rule. RR rule. What do I mean by double R rule? It is rocket roll. Rocket roll. What does it mean? Do you know the role of the rocket? Do you know how the rocket is...
Just every action has a nickname.
Every action, no.
I don't love.
What?
I don't love physics.
Yes, me too. The rocket, when it starts to go up, on the first 10 minutes, it's used most of the fuel of the tank. Until here. Until here, just we use the whole fuel to just go up. And then, if it lasts or it will stay on the space, for example, 6 months, it just takes only these fuels, the rest. So you have to have your power to go up, and then you will win and you will feel comfortable. We have to work hard first. As a youth, you are still young, so you have to take your power now and you will fly. You will be in the sky. Inshallah, you will be in the sky, but you have to find your ability, your power, what God gave you to be on the sky, inshallah. The first station in successful story around the world is where? It's the flag of, you cannot see it here clearly. It's Italy. Good. Who knows this man?
بيتزا اخترع البيتزا ولا
مخترع?
لا يعني
I thought she said maybe he's the inventor of the pizza because the signature of Italy was pizza spaghetti. No, it is something else. He's an actress? Do you think he's an actress? He's famous? He's famous or not? Okay, let us read something about him. His CV. Petro Ferrore, he born in September this month, in 1898, was the founder of Ferrero Spa. Okay? We love him too. You don't know him very well. Even his CV is a little bit strange for you. But I'm sure that you know what he invented. Who doesn't know Nutella?
Everyone we know.
You all know Nutella, but nobody know Ferrero. Nobody know Petro. He succeeded with a lot of challenges. He has obstacles and challenges. During the World War, there is no chocolate. There is no chocolate to manufacture the Nutella. So instead of saying, oh, this is a bad luck, we don't have it, we are in a war, I am poor, I will die, he think with something else. He started to use what I have in my country, what I have in Bosnia. I should not take it from outside. I should take what God gave me in my country. So what do you think was in Italy at that time? They are famous at hazelnut. It was too much there. So he tried to do something creative. He mixed the chocolate, the little chocolate he have in the store. For example, he have in the store like just a tank of chocolate. He tried to mix it with the hazelnut to make a big amount of chocolate and hazelnut, trying to say maybe people will like it. But people didn't like it, adore it, they adore it. Even the big people and small people, small children, they like Nutella. Believe me, Nutella is selling each 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In this 5 seconds, they sell 50 jars on 5 seconds around the world. It started with what? Inspirational thoughts. He used the limited resources he had. It is a hazelnut. He tried it. He chose the step and he do it and taste it. And the whole world is now saying Nutella, Nutella. Everybody knows Nutella. So, do you know Nutella?
Yes.
And do you know Petro?
Yes.
We all know him now. And we will be same like Petro and better than Petro also.
It's coming from inside heart. We love it.
Yes.
And we inspire people also to love it.
Yes, thank you, Marwa. By the way, lots of people, it's mentioned here in Arabic, they told him you are crazy, you will fail. And failure is the key word of inspiration. They will tell you, no, you are crazy, you cannot make it. But if it is from your heart, you will make it. And you will create something amazing from it because you love it. It's your biggest value. It's your passion. If it's your passion, you will never leave it. You will fight for it. So, the golden key from this story, what was the golden key? It's, as I show you, it is failure.
Limited resources.
Limited resources. Big challenges, obstacles, innovation, creativity, resistance. It's all here in this story. Okay, now we will go to another story. Where is it? South Africa and Holland. The next story from Holland. We have Netherlands. We have one أعتقد هني sorry but I can't Yes. It's about a man. His name is Van Clovert. He's a farmer from Netherlands. He tried his best, as we say. I tried my best to invest in agriculture, but I didn't succeed. So he thought that going from his country is the solution. So he sell his land and go to South Africa, buying another land, a very big land. Unfortunately, he finds something in this land. What?
Snakes.
Snakes. Not an ordinary snakes, copper snakes, a very poisonous snakes. What shall he do with this land? It's not fertilized. It's not good for growing, for agriculture.
And even in Africa, they don't have water. Opposite to Bosnia, they have water. Alhamdulillah, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. You have the secret of the life. You have the secret of the life, which is water, weather, and good air for agriculture. Subhanak ya Rabbi. Van Clovert, Van Clovert, he...
Battery.
Yes.
Close. Close it.
Van Clovert, he go to, from Holland, he go to Africa. So he found the snakes in his land. What do you think? What do you think he feel at that time? Upset, disappointed, fear, frustrated, everything. Because you sell your land in your country with flowers and everything is nice, and you go to Africa, you don't know anybody there. You think it is the solution, it is the key for success and for being rich, and you discover there is a snake, a very poisonous snakes, not one. It's a family, teamwork of snakes. The whole family is there in the land. If you are in his position, what you will think about? About what? Nature? Okay. How can you can change the nature of the land? No. Or you can change your mindset? Yes.
Anti-poison things.
Maybe Hamza, he said, maybe I create an anti-poison, something to change the... Okay, thank you very much. You can change, he said, maybe I create or innovate something like anti-poison for the land. But I'm not having this chemical things. I'm not a pharmacy. I don't have money for this. So what do you think he did?
Maybe he can use the leather of the skin.
Maybe he can use the leather, the skin of the snakes. Layla, she said, train the snakes to do what? Dancing? Yes, Mubarak. What? Find who eats the snakes, maybe. But we will see what's happened. He converts this land to a factory for the poison, which be used for the medicated field. It became the first and the biggest poison factory all around the world. He just changed his mindset because he desperately believed in himself and believed that he had an ability, and he tried to shift his mind. See, when I tell you what the logical thinking, you said poisoning. Some people said use the leather. But when you change your mindset and your thinking to analogical thinking, as Dr. Muhammad said, you will have something else huge. They said to him also, you are crazy. When they said you are crazy, you are really crazy because you are not like them. You are strange. You are different than them. So Van Clovert, he just changed his thinking, and from negative thinking he transferred it to positive thinking, and he became a very rich man. The golden keys here is what? Failure, success. He's entrepreneurship.
Innovation.
Resilience. Okay. The third story is from
Kenya?
Yes, Kenya. It's from Kenya. نحط لهم بالفيلم. It's about one refugee. What is the difference between refugee and migration? When
Honey.
Yes, better. Yes, I think. Okay. What is the difference between refugee and one, yes, Adela, forced to leave his country, but the other one, migration,
Position.
it is upon your choice. So, who is more difficult, in more difficult situation? Refugee, because you are leaving your land, your country, your beloved one, by force. But immigration, it is your choice. So we will see what this man in a very bad situation, but he transferred it to a good situation.
Can be simply described as a kid caught between a rock and a hard place. You wake up every morning thinking, we just want to survive. Sanitation is not a priority. We have about 2 million kids that die of sanitation issues, mainly because they don't wash their hands. I am Derek Kayongo. I'm a former refugee. Now I help people fight disease with basic sanitation. You have some soap for me? Yeah, this is great. The issue is not the availability of soap, but the issue is cost. Can they afford it?
Okay. What's his name? Is it Derek? His name is Derek. He's a refugee from Kenya. He go from Kenya to US as a refugee. Thank God that he go to America, not somewhere else. And he said, from a refugee, you wake up every morning thinking how I can be alive for the next day. So he go to the hotel, and when he go to the hotel, he sleep there, then wake up in the morning, going outside, then come back, take a shower and go outside, and he came back and he saw something that they clean his room. And it is normal for us. But he feels surprised that the soap he left it and use it, they change it with another new soap. So he said, maybe by mistake they take the old one and bring the new one. Okay, I will see for the next day. Also next day he take shower, go outside, and come back and he saw a new soap. So he said, excuse me, for the room service or the housemaid, excuse me, where is my old soap? She said, we throw it. He said, but it is clean. And I just use it one time. She said, yes, this is our rule in the hotel. Anywhere we go, in any toilet, if you use it one time, we throw it, we bring you another one. As a refugee, you see people and children, they are dying from not having these small things. So he think of a very huge and great project. It's called SOAP project. Let me show you the meaning of the...
I am Derek Kayongo. I'm a former refugee. Now I help people fight disease with basic sanitation. You have some soap for me? Yeah, this is great. The issue is not the availability of soap, but the issue is cost. Can they afford it? 800 million bars of soap.
800 million bars of soap is growing daily.
We're able to get a lot of soap which we can process and make brand new soap out of it. Clean it, melt it, then cut it into fine blocks. Box it and ship it. Being here in Kenya and this orphanage is coming full circle, but with good news.
It's the first time they wash their hands.
Also to use it so they can fight disease. Those are clean. That's very good. One of the things that I've learned from the kids is a sense of resilience. To know that they have this sense of hope and joy is remarkable. Do I feel like I'm having an impact on them? Yeah, I think so.
One of the greatest prize by CNN. They call them CNN heroes. How you can make a project or an inspirational project with a very limited or no resources. Of course, you have to have other NGOs, governments, hotels. All the hotels in America, they help him because he has a very great passion to help his people. Even he go out from Kenya, but he still love his family, his people. So he tried to do something. Even if you go outside Bahrain, outside Bosnia, outside Australia, outside Dubai, you still have this love. I will take the use of all the benefits all around the world and take it to my country because this country feeds me. Without your country, you can't grow. You have to grow your country and grow with it, within it. Even we go back, we go outside, we have to come back to our country. So Derek, do it in this way. And he has a mission. He has a mission or a vision that I want his vision. I want to put a bar of a soap in the hand of every child who cannot afford it. Very simple vision with a very great passion because it starts from here. It's not just here. As Dr. Muhammad, Dr. Adina said, you have to have mind, soul, and heart. Without these three, you cannot make a successful story. So the golden keys here, lots of things, challenges, failure, success, society contribution, it's all in here. Okay, now it's fourth story, it's from, yeah, as a Gulf people we can know it easily, like that. Okay, it's from Oman. I meet this girl personally.
There's too much wires here.
Her name is Safiya al-Bahlani. She's from Oman. She born without hand. Unfortunately, her mother leave her in
Institution. Rehabilitation center.
Yes, and one of the nurse take her and adapt her and try to find what is the biggest value in Safiya. Logically, you cannot imagine that a girl without hand can be a Picasso. But when you have it in your heart, you will be. Safiya, one of the greatest painter in Oman. You Google it. You just try Safiya al-Bahlani and you will see how is the king of Oman. She has the honor of
the reward
as the greatest artist in Oman. Even when she didn't have a hand to draw. And she is doing a lot of great things. For example, handicraft. She make box like this one with a good cover, and she sell it. For example, يعني 10 euro, 5 دينار مثلا. 10 euro. And most of the return or the money goes to the charities project or orphans or people, disabled people. So don't you think she's small, she don't have a hand? She don't have hand, but she have a heart. That's why she succeeds. And it's from Bosnia. Yes.
من حالها, you know. On our last visit, I really feel amazing about everything in Bosnia. We love Bosnia and we love people here. As I always say, even in the wartime, you were fighting here, but you are fighting and defending not for yourself only, for all the Muslims. We were asleep in our home safely and you were feeling fear and worried in your country. So you do lots of big and great things for us. So everything I quite amazing in Bosnia, but something catch my heart, which is one of the NGOs. I think we go to yes, it's an NGOs, a number of ladies, they don't have work. Instead of having their hand down, they have it up. اليد العليا واليد السفلى. Instead of saying give me, they give to other, and subhanak ya Rab, Allah, God give them more. So they use their talent in cooking. So one is cooking, one is cleaning, one is serving, one is for the reception. Each one has to use his golden key to succeed. So this is one of the story, a successful story in Bosnia. There is a lot of successful story here. And last, not least, last from Bahrain. And it is from Ministry of Youth. We call it Youth City 2030. Youth City is a city where you can find lots of activity. For example, media, photography, writing, actress, being in sports, developing the personality of the youth, volunteer work. It's all in one city. I think if you can apply the same thing here, you will not have a big shop, because they will not have the time and energy for this. They will go, they will save and use their energy in this city. So it have a lot of activity. I was one of the lecturers in this city, and I taught a lot of youth like you more than 10 years ago. It's cooking, everything. One of the model I want to talk about, he's one of the youth. I saw him when he was in the secondary school. I trained him for some body language, interpersonal skills, communication skills, and he was young. And the story is about to be inspired is great, to inspire is incredible. This is the one. His name is Abdurrahman. I taught him and I trained him when he was maybe 12 years old. He's an innovator, mashallah. After I trained him, he trained people. He trained the youth. He is now studying medical school, so lifelong learning. And also his entrepreneurship. He opened a small shop with a passion. It's called Glassy Road. Moreover, after what I taught him and I trained him during these years, at the end, he trained my children. So it's always like this. What you give, you will get. It's like a circle. It will come back to you. Subhanallah, it's not just from him. Abdurrahman, his full name is Abdurrahman Muhammad Wahidi. And he's the son of Dr. Muhammad. And Dr. Muhammad now he teach me. I learn from him. So it's a circle. When you give,
you will have. Yes, she's my daughter. She's my daughter Maria and Abdurrahman. Inshallah. الوقت خلص أعتقد. I have the only and the last story, which is, this is my personal story, where I find my passion. I found my passion in Africa, in Djibouti. He's my husband, Abdurrahman Hassan. We went to Djibouti we think that we will give them something, but surprisingly, they give us a lot of things. How to activate inspiration in volunteering? Limited resources, sometimes without resources. We go to the Syria, I don't have money. I'm not rich in money. I'm rich in heart, alhamdulillah, and even in money, alhamdulillah. We go to Syria, we thought that, what can we do there for them? One of the women, she said, just seeing you come from your country, a safe country, to a war country, just to say we are with you, this is a very huge thing. This is no resources. It is inside resources. You don't have to pay money. You just pay attention. Give your heart to others. So by volunteering, I think Bosnia will have lots of successful story, because you will feel that if you go to Djibouti, they don't have the resources you have. This water is a fortune in Djibouti. When I go to Djibouti and saw on a river, I said, oh my God, please God, give Djibouti some of this water, because they don't have water, they don't have weather. It is 50 degrees. Sometimes I get burned, my face, my hand, but I feel happy. It's like a tanning. It's like a blessing. When I see myself eating and taking a shower and leaving the water like this, it's hurt me. And even I told my children, don't leave this water. This, you can wash your hand. Some people will live with this water, small water. So when you go to other country, you will see how they suffer. You are in a good position. You are rich. Bosnia are rich. You are a very rich people. Very rich people with heart, with alhamdulillah Islam, with the water, with everything you have. And you will build and create a lot of inspirational, successful story from this blessing land, inshallah. This is their schools, trying to build schools for them and trying to tell them we are happy and we can give you a lot of love. Inspiration is the matter of giving and having. And thank you very much.
Change the presentation, right?
You embody that feeling. If you were, God forbid, in a coma, and you woke up and you didn't really have a memory, and you were told that you used to be a Navy SEAL, and they want you back now when you're healthy, do you think you'd act differently and hold yourself differently, conduct yourself different, have a different self-concept of who you are than if you were told you were a piano instructor? Being successful in life is all about having the proper belief system in who you are. Truly believing that you are something unique, that you are something special in that field. If you truly believe inside of you that you are one of the best actors in the world, you will be entirely different than if you're like, I hope I'm good. Your expressions will be totally different. Your tone of voice. More convincing fashion. You'll use your natural voice instead of the scripted one. You'll be more emphatic. You'll be more real, more relatable. Our brain is like a circuit. And so if we introduce it with the proper wiring, you're going to go straight to your target. If you're unsure about who you are, then your dreams, your goals, they will never become a reality. Everyone has mental doubts in life, internal conflicts. Even the most successful people that you look up to, but they don't live there. It's how you handle those negative thoughts in that exact moment and overwhelm them with positive action. And that comes with this utmost confidence in yourself that you can handle the situation. Trust in yourself that you are better than the moment.
The greats think differently. The greats see differently, right? The greats have a different worldview. The greats, they approach the game in a totally different way. So I need you to do me a huge favor. I need you to think about what you're thinking about when your effort is low. Because if you can get this, you can get any success you want in life. You can have anything you want in life if you can get this. The next time you give a low effort, right? You give it 70% or 50% or 30%. I want you to think about what you're thinking about when your effort is low. If your effort is low, you're probably not thinking about the opportunity, you're probably thinking about the obligation. And when you think about ET, how you stay pumped up, ET, how you stay on fire, ET, how you always trip, even in the midst of trials and tribulation, even in the midst of your haters, when people try to break you and tear you down, ET, how you stay strong. I keep thinking about the opportunity. Every single day, I'm thinking about the opportunity, and I'm not looking at this thing as an obligation. I'm not looking at this thing as something that I have to do, or that I'm forced to do, right? Something somebody makes me do. Every time I wake up, I'm thinking, I'm alive, baby, this is the day. This is an opportunity. If you want what you've never had before, if you want to do what you've never done before, if you want to be what you've never been before, change your mentality. And I want you to see that effort goes up when you look at it as, I got an opportunity of a lifetime. But you should be excited about the fact that you have an opportunity.
That's it.
Nobody wanted to do anything with us. We tried to speak with the government, we tried to speak with the players, we tried to speak with everybody, but they were just pushing us down. Then, after maybe 5 or 6 years, when we grew up and we became a better organization, we started a mini revolution, I would say like that. We indicated to people and we indicated to all media what is really happening in our town with our club. Jedinstvo is a club that was founded in 1937. So it's a club with a big reputation and a club with history. In that time it had its ups and downs, and today maybe is the worst situation ever. What we did, we wanted, because the club was founded by the people. The club was founded by the ordinary people in this town, by bakers, by lawyers, by really ordinary people. And what we did, we wanted to change the whole situation in club, so that people are those who are involved in club again, so that they can do something, that they can something change. We managed to do that after 7 or 8 years of fighting among them. What we did first when we came to the club, the situation in club was really bad. The situation in club now is really bad also. But when we came to the club, they have ruined everything. They have spent all the money of the club, all the money that the city gave to them. There was debts, and the worst thing that they did, that the only 3 players stayed in the club. So when we came there, it was just 3 players training themselves. It was horrible to see that, and if we go back 10 years, we were playing Europe, and we were the first club in Bosnia that went to European Championship from Bosnia. So something bad happened over there. In the short time, we managed to get back the players, and now we have over 100 players playing for our club. Mostly, those are boys from 12 to 17 years. Everybody is doing a volunteering job. Nobody has money, nobody is paid, and we are managing to do some stuff. The best thing that for me, the best thing is that players are the kids from our town. Everybody is from our town and from our region. Our I would say, most valuable victory is that we even convinced few players that went to Austria, so that they migrated to Austria when they heard the situation about the club and that we are now there and our program and our project, they took their bags and came back to Bihać. I know that is not much. I know that bringing back 3 or 5 people to Bosnia is not something big, but if I manage to do that with my friends, imagine what would be if there is certain groups of people like us in other cities, for example in Sarajevo, in Prijedor, in Banja Luka, and everybody is doing that, then we would have maybe 100 kids returning back to Bosnia, 1,000 kids, and 10,000, maybe millions, who knows. The situation is still not good, but it's very, very better than it was. For example, we managed to convince and to speak with, I don't know if you know about him, his name is Safet Nadarević. He was captain of the national team of Bosnia, and when he heard the story what is happening, he came back from Turkey. He came back from Turkey, and he's training that kids, and of course he doesn't want any money, he doesn't want anything, he just wants that project lives. So the most bad thing in this club is that the politics ruined it and corruption ruined it. Our kids, for example, few of you were training in it, so I can recognize you. And some kid is training in that club from his, I don't know, 8 or 9 years. So he's training like his whole life. And when he's 18, when he needs to get a chance to be a part of the first team, to be a part of something, to make some difference in our city, they just put him in the shadow, and they bring some players and they do corruption with them. For example, they say to him, you'll have a salary 3,000 euros, but you will give us back 2,000 euros. And it's a win-win situation for the management and win situation for that average player, because at the end of the day he still gets his 1K. And we stopped that, and all the players who are now playing are our kids, and they said, okay, we know you don't have money, we know you don't have anything, we will play for free. That hurts us, because we know in what kind of situation are they. They are professional players, and they only know how to play football. They don't know economics, they don't know law, they don't know, and they have all families. And they need to feed their families, but they said, okay, you are good guys, you want to make some difference, we will play for free. So that is one of our big wins there. I don't know are there any questions for me? If you want to ask me something, I could speak about that club for days and don't stop, but I think I'll bother you.
Okay, I think I went from each team, as I told you. This is a real inspiring story, and because we know this is a recent story that Ernesto was suffering from lots of problems, still suffering, but at least there is someone who and mostly they are youth who have taken over the club. they want now to make the club a success story. So each team should have some question, whether it's relevant to quality of life or relevant to values, relevant to migration, entrepreneurship. It covers lots of things. And as I said to Amir and to Kan'an and Bala, Abdullah, and so on who are with us, this is a place where it brings every type of people, religious, non-religious, politicians, poor people. So clubs usually can make stories, by the way. And I think the story of lots of clubs in Europe, it says about that. And also around the world. Lots of clubs have managed to bring people around and actually built unity around it. Okay, so Hamza, I think he had a question for you.
So what is your visualization? What is your goal at the end? Of course, the primary goal is to put the club on firm ground and eventually to reach the first division of Bosnia. We are now currently in second division, but all of our projects
used to be in the first division.
Yes, we used to play Europe, but the most of our project is based on that youth and the boys from this town can do that. So that they should be the power, they should be that motor that will do that. Not just the players, not just the 11 of players who will play football and win, but every local connection, everything. So, for example, Kenan and their council of students, they engaged in the club. They are helping the fans who are mostly from 17 to 35 maybe. They are helping. So that's the at the end of the story, because sometimes we will win, sometimes we will lose. That's normal. Maybe we'll go the league down, maybe we'll go the league up, but the primary object of the club is that brings community back on the good and healthy stand, so that people of this town have something to be proud of, and eventually to make a legacy. For example, if I do something, I will tell that to my son, and eventually he will say, okay, if my dad could do that, maybe I can do that. And if they manage to do that, all of us together, if he managed to do that, all of us will have part in our hearts, and we can say, I managed to help that club to be up again. So that's the primary object.
Discovering the talent, or let's say the player who have a talent in certain games, whether football or soccer or whatever, basketball, depends on the club. How we, as a club, how you discover this talent, and from which age the club are aiming to discover this talent? Like, for example, is there a way that there is a communication between the club and the schools, or if there is a person could represent like ambassador of the club discovering this talent from villages or from small town, and discover where is the 10 or 12 years old a good player? Is there a strategy from the club?
Yes, the problem was that the primary management of club, they didn't want to hear anything about that. They went on the fast solution. What is the fast solution in Bosnia? In Bosnia, anything can be paid. So they did, for example, one game in Bosnia cost 30K to fix it. And their thinking is, okay, why should I invest in that kid and wait for years for him to become some player? I can buy this game for 30,000 marks. And they did that. And when we had enough points, then they say, okay, now we can sell games and make easy money. And they did that. And the other thing that was very bad, infrastructure is terrible. Now we have players who are talented, but in football talent is not everything. Hard work is everything. For example, the player that I was speaking about, Satip Nadarevic, he had none talent. He was the clumsiest guy on the field. But what he did hard work. For example, when everybody went after the game to the city to celebrate with girls, he went and he trained and trained and trained. 10 years after that, he signed a millionaire contract in Turkey, and he became practically a legend, and everybody else stuck with their 35 years and none on bank account. What we are trying to do and what we established now, like I said, now we have 100 kids training for us, for our club, but the problem is infrastructure. The field is very bad, and only thing that can develop from that is injury. He can broke his ankle or something. That's the problem. We made a deal with military. They gave us their fields, so we are training there. From next week, we are starting to go to schools. We agreed with, I don't know how to translate it in English, Katolički školski centar. It's a school, Catholic center, and in the school we will present about our club and we will get potential members. From now, we have maybe 7 or 8. I'm not a football expert, so I'm not that high. But our trainers, like they said, we have maybe 3 or 4 talents that are really good, and they are kids about 11 years. But the problem is they now need that hard work, and we cannot in this moment provide them that because we have no infrastructure. We had like the main ground and 3 or 4 grounds that were training, and the city had some kind of project that they will put reflectors, grass and everything, and they built it all up and stopped. So we are left now on one ground. And that's the problem when you have 100 kids, they need to train on that main field, and you need to play games in that main field. So basically that is our main problem now, and we are looking to form a scouting team that will go on our region and that will look for the talents. We agreed, we signed 3 players. One is from Kladuša, other one is from Buži, and the third one is from Prijedor. Those are kids from 17 years, and we provide them food and we provide them place to sleep. In return, they play for our club. Unfortunately, we do not have any money to give them, to pay them. We agree with them to play for free, and eventually, if there is some kind of money in the club, we will provide them something.
So we had like 2 visits of your club, and we heard about the story of the same situation that we had like in
56, yes.
56 years. Can you please tell it to these guys, inspire them, to show them that the same situation is going on, and what did 14 guys this year?
In 1956, the club was in even worse situation than today, if it's possible to say like that. Nobody was there. All the structure, all the management, the city just give their hands up, and they said, we are shutting down the club. And then came the 14 boys from 16. And those were Catholic boys, Serbian boys, Muslim boys, all mixed together. They were friends. And they said, okay, we will try to do something. 14 of them. So it's 11 on the field and 3 person on the bench. They even didn't have a reserve goalkeeper. 14 of them started to play for Jedinstvo in 1956. They didn't even have shirts. On that season, they won a championship from Bosnia, and from 11 from the first team, 6 of them made really huge careers. In that period, ex-Yugoslavia was a very, very good football area, and they made careers in Hajduk, Partizan, Zagreb that are really good clubs were really good clubs in that period. And the same story we represent now, and the same story we told to those kids. Don't play for money, don't play for glory. Don't play like that. Play for yourself. You are kids, they are kids. In first team, they are 15 years old and playing now. And we told them, make talent of you. Build yourself. Do it for yourself, and eventually someone will notice you. You will go maybe not to Manchester United, but you will make something of you, and eventually hundreds of others will see idol in you. So I think, but the problem is our mentality here in our local. Everyone wants money, and everyone wants money fast. They don't look what can be in few years. For example, I told them, okay, we can pay you, but when you're 35, you're over, you're done. You cannot play football and you don't have school. What will you do then in your life? And they stopped and they think about that, and now the day after they came and said, okay, everybody will play for free until there's some money.
Okay.
So I think we managed to do something good.
Okay. We have two more questions from each team. Besides the voluntary team, do you have any other team would like to ask?
Quality of life,
Quality of life? Nothing?
values they have.
Values? Values you already asked.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Sinead.
Question. First of all, thank you for coming now on board. I'm a member of Ethics and Values team, and we are. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Our project is problem with betting shops. I have one question for you. Are you cooperate with some betting shops and like sponsorships, and what is correct? How
To stop that.
to stop that?
Okay, so that's a good question. In the last game, we played against a club called Čapljina. It's in Herzegovina, and their prime sponsor and logo is,
Yes.
Yes, we saw that.
Premier betting shops. What kind of messages do they send to the people? Okay, they will give them money, and what will they do? If matches need to be fixed, okay, no problem, we'll fix that. We had opportunity to close a deal with that, but we said no, because we can get from them maybe 20 or 30 Ks. So it's a good money, but we'll spend that money in 3, 4, 5 or 6 months, and what do we have in return? We have all of our fans and all our community suspecting in us, because we can fix matches with them. We play football, they put us in their schedule, and we can sell games, we can buy games. We don't want to do that. The former management did that, and that's why our tribunes are practically none of people go to see football, because in Bosnia there's also one thing about football called 3 for 3. For example, if you are playing against me, I say, okay, we don't have money, but let me win at my home, and when I go at your place, I'll let you win. For 6 years, I didn't miss any match away of Jedinstvo.
MashaAllah.
For 6 years, there's practically every weekend there's away game. For 6 years, they were fixing matches. In that 6 years, I only saw one match that wasn't fixed. Imagine how is, and our geographic location is a bit strange. Every match is like 300 miles away from us in one direction. So I travel, and me and my friends, we travel, for example, 8 to 9 hours to see our club. And we come to the ground, we come to the stadium, and the player is walking by us, and he stood and, why? Why are you being idiots? You know it's fixed. But somehow in the deep of soul we thought maybe not. And every match, 70 minutes, 1-0, go away. We even found a document with the stamps of clubs in 2009, because it involved was Jedinstvo, our club, and Čelik from Zenica. They put agreement on paper that they will win at their home and that we will win when we play in Bihać. And they put agreement, they put stamps, and they put everything like a contract. We took that to the police, to everybody, but nobody wants to listen. That's the problem of our society. The corruption is on the highest level, and you don't
Maybe
know.
Amir, you can mention about the why you closed the bar also, just quickly, and before we conclude.
For 20 years, the tribunes are built that underneath them is a lot of space. And for 20 years, they were speaking to us like the club doesn't have any rights to that, the club is not involved in that. And they put a disco club underneath it. And what was happening that every night there was a parties over there, and eventually a lot of people went out on the disco, go up on the stadium and do drugs, do alcohol and everything. When we came, they told us that that belongs to us, so that is our right to do what we want. We closed everything what was underneath, but still we are waiting from our government that we are those who have rights, because anybody can say you can own that, you can own that. We want a paper that will say, okay, it's your rights to do whatever you want with that. Yes?
If we manage to reconstruct that west side of stadium, and if there is a possibility to NGO have their office under the stadium, so club will have NGO on their side, and also we will have a club on our side as a friendship for some fact.
Yes, but it's a big project because it involves a lot of money. Because everything basically now is in very bad condition. But through some projects, I think it can be done, and it's a great opportunity from one side to the club, and to other side, it's a win-win situation for everybody, I think.
How do people react to the new change?
On the first day, my phone didn't stop ringing, and the comments were, "You idiot, why? You are fool, somebody will kill you, they will do that, they will do that, why are you doing that yourself, you finished school, you had opportunity to go on your own way." My mother was crying for days, to be honest, because the crime and corruption were at the highest level over there. And I even had the phone calls, they were threatening, they will do that, they will do that. Because when we came to that club, we saw the crime. And we reported the crime. But unfortunately, our government and our state is doing nothing about that. But it's been 2 months since we took over the club. In that 2 months, from now on, from every day, there are good reactions and people are seeing what we are doing. And they are, from now on, my Facebook and my phone, and people are coming to the club and they are telling us, bravo, bravo, and they are telling us that they are supporting us. For example, in last 2 months, through the club went over 1,000 people. We didn't have that much people watching football. That they just came to say thank you for bringing club back to the people's hands.
Including us.
Yes.
We're trying as much as we can to reduce the immigrations from, especially the youth, to other European country. And it's a part of our hope that we can create an event highlighting this through musicians, through some music that will touch the heart for the youth that does not, like, you get everything in here, you don't need to go anywhere. Is there a chance that we can cooperate or sponsor this event at the club itself, so all the youth and the Bihars could attend that, and from that we hope that we can pass a message to them that the real treasure is in here, not outside.
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you.
I'm from the mediation integration team, and my question would be, what was the main reason for you to stay here and do something for your hometown, and what was the reason for those players who came back to his country?
When I finished law school, I couldn't find a job. And I put my bags and I went to Holland. I was for 2 years in Holland. I had there a job, I had everything, I had good money, but that wasn't that. It just wasn't that. I came back, I don't know, I can't explain that.
In the blood.
It's the passion. For example, when I was this old, my grandfather took me to that game, and that was that. My blood became jedinstvo. Yes.
Wow.
So I came back from Holland, from Amsterdam, where I had everything basically, and I came back to do something good. Now, maybe some will say that I have some kind of intentions that I will eventually do this or do that, but time will show that. I can say now, no, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy. The time will show. I don't want to brag or to say, no, I'm a good guy, please help me. I think the time will show, and the deals will show what are we doing currently.
Okay, I think I have to conclude unless you have really a question that you cannot sleep with.
tonight.
But I would like to tell you that usually we test people from experience, because I met more than 16,000 people I interviewed in my life. And always I say in Oman itself I interviewed more than 7,000 people. So one of the techniques I tested Amir of his commitment to what he's saying is that I told him to come after work. And even I told him to come quickly, right? We met during, Amir, you work from which time to which time? As in the law firm?
From 7 to 4. From 6 to 8.
Just to tell you, and this is how much he's committed. He's committed to get any help for his club at any time, and including the weekend, of course.
And then he came a meeting with us from 4:30 at that day to 6:30, without having lunch.
And Amir, by the way, he was what you call it?
Motorcycle.
Scooter. Okay, just for information, yes. Okay. All of them is yours, and for that we need to support them by all the means. And I think this can be a success story for all of you. All the teams can work with Amir and with us in this project, inshallah. Thank you very much.
I don't say that we will succeed. I don't say that our story is right. But at least at the end of everything, I can say to myself, I tried. Not just me and my friends. We tried to do something that we thought is good, and we tried to help club and the youth in this town. So that's at the end of the story. That's the main thing that pulled us in the sky.
You can do it.
Hamza, and team mentor is this is Sinan, sorry. So there are all our pictures. The next slide, our team we are researching for the problem of the betting shops in our area. We are trying to find what are the reasons, some of them. So the first is we have found that they want easy ways or some money. And also our youth have no choices, so they are going to bet shops to wasting their time, so something like that. So also our reasons are they are going into the betting shops with their parents, so they have seen that from their parents, also they would do the same. And so what we have done about it, so we have do some interviews, researching, and something like that. So the next step is what we have found about that. Our bettings in our area have earned of our youth $500 million current. So our jobless youth give the betting shops $500 million. So in Unasana Campus we have 2,051 betting shops. So this is not enough implemented in our law, probably, and it all comes to our very bad final financial situation. So also I have forgotten to say that Bosnia and Herzegovina is the top country by number of betting shops.
Comparing to the population and size.
شوفي الخريطة
هنشوف الخريطة وتفهمين.
And red ones are the betting shops, and the green ones are schools. So we can see all around.
Imagine.
مال سراييفو أدمر. سراييفو بعد أدمر وايد.
All around our schools are betting shops. So when our children go
This is from Google, huh?
schools, they
These are.
see the betting shops, and that is very bad picture. Do you understand what is betting, what is school?
Yes, the school is
Great.
Less than the betting shops.
It's really shocking.
And this is only center of Bihać. And some of buttons in this map are missing because they are protected, and we couldn't find on the internet where they are. But when we go in the central city, we saw that they are buttons, but we can't find it on.
So in reality, the betting shops are even more than what you can see on this map.
Sometimes there are also not official shops. يعني they are inside supermarket. I don't think this covers supermarkets also, right?
No.
يعني large market, every hypermarket, it have inside it a betting shop. Yeah. 2 or 3 بعد. يعني official and unofficial there is. This is in Sarajevo. شوف Sarajevo.
This is whole city of Sarajevo, and there are bettings and green one schools.
they target.
Here we have some little interviews here. We need this young man is young boy how he go to betting. And this is some we watched some guy.
ترى ولي من كثرة بس يعني انترس يعني عودي عندهم كنا الوان.
يا هم منزلين عندك؟
Give me your flash. Continue and then you come back. Continue, then you can come back.
Related to. This one.
Okay, everything is related to it.
Yes, yes.
Also, it's good here. So This is something about our Bosnians. We have done.
Guys, can we have your attention?
About first question, we have heard that we have 62% just high school educated people, and all about was between 18 and 25 years, so that is the young people. And something we, yes, 17% of them are unemployed people. And what is the paradox of them? They are spending 76% of them are spending 10 times per week on betting shops. So they are unemployed. They are giving their money in bet shops. So that is very terrible. And 42% of them are minors. So these are minors. They are which see that they are every day in betting shops. So this may problem with law.
What is it? 42% is what?
Minors, which are daily in betting shops.
Okay.
Like younger than 18. Younger than 18.
Younger than
Juniors.
18. Okay.
And in our second question, were the question, do you gamble? So 67% said yes, I gamble. So they are all negative things. And positive things we have is 90% of them on the question is gambling problem, saying yes, this is problem. And 87% of them don't want to let their children or their sisters into the gambling profession. Next one. How did the project go on? We say that Rose says everything. Okay, this is just our way how it all goes. It's inspiration, production, researching, workshops, questionnaire, survey, meetings, experience too. Our mentors in Argentina have a lot of experience with them, interviews, and last inspiration. So we can now hear our interview.
Last one.
There is mouse. I think you can use it.
No, this is heroes. مشواق هذا. تكوين الماوس. ها؟ دكتورة وين الماوس؟ الماوس وين؟ تغير.
This belongs to Yasmina, not here.
سكتي ال
Now Yasmina.
Did you find the pen now?
I am Sandy. So, I see my friends. They live in betting shops. They spend all their money on wants to be part of them and
Allah.
This young boy is touch us in our heart, or when we talking something about our project, and he says, I saw my friends every day they are going to that things, and he's fifth year of sixth year of primary school, and he says, I see
And
my
about
friends.
11 years old, 11, 12 years old.
Yeah. And he says that he saw his friends, which is third and second class, who they go there to fight.
So I have one more model. I want to say about one guy from the Hajj. He started the gamble with 11 years and gambled 7 years.
Selma, better use the microphone. It's more clearer for us.
So that guy told me that he have a lot of money and so he don't know where to spend it. Then their friends told